Welcome to Not All Business, a podcast by two former CEOs who went from competitors to friends. I'm Blakely Graham, and my co-host is Heather Cooper, and we are joined by our producer, the unflappable Clay Cornell. Today, we're tackling bad managers, and we brought in the expert.
Not all business.
Okay, so went to dinner with a couple of old friends from X company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've both moved on into these different HR roles. We had a ball talking about the recent firings that they did.
I don't think they're allowed to disclose it. It's like HIPAA or something. I don't think you can say.
It's definitely not HIPAA, but also they didn't say their names. I don't know who these people are, but do you want to hear my favorite firing out of all of them?
Yes.
And I don't relish in people's firings, but
Yeah,
some
this is not
people
gossip.
deserve it. And so here's an example of one. Okay, Zoom meeting starts. This girl is late. Finally, she comes on. She's like 4 or 5 minutes late. Everybody's like, where is Judy, right? It's not Judy.
Wait, is her name Judy?
No, and it doesn't even play well. Her name is... What would be a good name for this?
Cynthia?
No.
Rudy.
Trixie. Trixie.
Rudy is not even a female name.
No, we're going to call her Trixie. So
All right.
Trixie is she's a few minutes late. Finally, she flips her camera on because it's a camera on culture, which I am a huge fan of. You know, nonverbal communication is 80%, blah, blah, blah. So she flips on her thing and it's wobbly, like, you know, it's like unstable. And then all of a sudden it settles into her naked bare chest. Boobs.
Wait, what?
Boobs.
What do you mean it's unstable? Like it's resting on her boobs?
Well, it's like it's wobbly. It's like, okay, something's going on. Like she didn't know that she had already turned on her computer. She was trying to get settled, or her camera. And then she did it and it's just boobs. And there's like 15 people on this call. The manager says, Trixie, I don't think you realize you're on camera. Like, please, you know, and she's like, oh, my bad. Sorry. So she shuts it off.
Fuck her.
Settles back in, turns it on. Still, it's this. Then it's the head because she's in the bathtub because she's taking the all hands from the bathtub.
Has she never watched The Young and the Restless?
I don't know.
Where the electronic, like, the hairdryer falls into the bathroom and, like, electrocutes someone?
That's
like,
your
you don't
concern.
take your
her safety? That's really sweet of you. But she's like, blah, blah, blah. And then this. So she got fired for so many reasons. But, you know, the one.
But wait. Why would she get fired for that?
Well, first of all, taking a call from the bathtub is not professional.
Yeah, I guess that part. But not
that was really the main reason. The other thing was an accident, but you shouldn't.
Okay.
I guess what we need to say for any employees out there listening, don't be on a call naked. So let's start there. If COVID has taught people nothing, right? I mean, how many videos did we see of people doing very bad things during COVID on a company call?
Hey, there was a Detroit police officer who showed up to video court this week in the news, and he didn't have any pants on.
Really?
Was he crazy?
That's still a thing. I always have pants on, but I often wear like really nice blouses, and then I've got my sweats on the bottom. But that's like okay, right?
Yeah, everyone does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the people that are naked.
No, I just think it's wild. She was very upset and very, very mad, but didn't have a leg to stand on. There's not if you're going to show up naked to a call, it's
What?
It's
I
not the
mean,
best.
what are the laws around that though? Like there was a big case in Boulder where there was a naked gardener and he was out gardening, he and his wife naked, and they were on their property line. And I don't know where the case went, but like,
well, that's indecent exposure. It's the same reason I risk my flawless record every time I pee in a parking lot, you know? Or you like pee in
You've
public.
never gotten arrested or gotten in trouble
Not
for
yet.
anything?
Knock on wood. When you got to go, you got to go.
I don't know why I've had seen this in the last 2 weeks, but there was a graphic I saw.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's true. So our listeners are going to fact check us. Fact check me on this. But certain states, you are legally allowed to be nude in your backyard. And then there are certain states where you're not allowed to be naked in your backyard. And it all depends on state laws. It's not like it's like locally, there are some places where you could nude sunbathe in your yard, but some places you couldn't. But when it comes to work, though, you can't do that.
I feel like it's universal. I mean, Fort Collins, it was the whole Free the Nipple campaign thing where it was like a woman can be the same. Like, it's not up to society to sexualize the body part. And so wherever a man could be shirtless, then also a woman could be. So not inside a restaurant because you're required to wear a shirt in a restaurant. But at a park, at the public swimming pool, like they passed that a woman could take their shirt off. I don't really see it very often, once in a while. But to your point, Clay, it's a local ordinance. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any problem with the Free the Nipple campaign, to be honest. I've often thought that was just weird how we put all these rules on what we wear in general. I will say I would question the decision-making capability of this woman who was taking the call from the bathtub. Like, that just, to me, I would feel so uncomfortable being one frame away from any colleague, seeing any vulnerable, any part. I won't even do swimsuits at corporate events. Like, I get so mad if you have to go to, like, we had an event once on a boat, and I'm like, I don't want to wear a swimsuit. I'm 20 years older than everyone. Like, no, thank you.
It's uncomfortable.
Much less in a bathtub. So
yeah, we did a Cancun thing, and it's a little, it's vulnerable that way for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway, that was the funny firing story of the week.
How do you? What's the conversation go like? Hey, so you know what happened, or like, how do you say to someone? It is inappropriate to show up to. How do you say that sentence without laughing?
I don't know.
Or like without just. I don't know.
I don't know. That's what she was dying. I asked her that question because she had to do it, and she was like, "You just kind of have to hold it together and be like, there's a code of work conduct, and unfortunately, you did violate it, and we're gonna have to part ways." And better. I don't know.
Oh my gosh,
this is
people,
wild.
Come on, people.
Yeah, HR has some good stories. That's for sure. Okay, so Blakely, I know this would never happen to you, obviously, because you would never take this chance. But if it did, on the off chance you were in a hurry, you had to rush out to like an event right after this, and so you had to take your bath now or never.
I don't take baths.
Okay, stop being difficult. Okay,
you're Trixie right now.
You're
Think
Trixie.
Bathtubs.
Okay,
Trixie loves a bath.
Trixie loves a bath, the candles, the whole bit.
Yeah.
So you're Trixie, you're in the bathtub. That you get caught, you get found out. Do you just quit? Like,
Hell
are you just
yes.
like, I'm out? Like, or do you wait and see how it blows over?
I would never show my face in front of a single person in that office ever again. I would be calling up. I wouldn't be calling. I would be texting my boss and be like, I'm so sorry. I'm mortified and I don't ever want to show my face again. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, no, I wouldn't. No, it's terrible.
I wouldn't either. I've dreamt about rage quitting in my life or just like having something that was like so extreme, but I've never actually done it. But
that's not even a rage quit. That's an embarrassment.
That's an embarrassment quit. I just mean like an emotionally triggered. This has not been thought through. I don't have anything lined up. But enough is enough. Like, I'm out.
Yes.
That takes a lot of courage and guts. And you know who did rage quit?
Oh, I know.
Our guest. And we're going to hear all about it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know. She's awesome.
We've talked about sticky situations before, but today we brought in reinforcements. Our guest is Lynda Harvey, who did what most of us only dream about. She rage quit her high-level corporate job and turned that middle finger moment into a thriving business. Now she trains managers with the kind of raw, unfiltered honesty that makes HR departments nervous. No corporate speak, no sugarcoating, just the truth about what makes managers suck and how to actually fix it. Her no BS approach has earned her a cult following across social media, and when it comes to calling out bad managers, we knew exactly who to call. because sometimes you need someone who's not afraid to say what everyone's thinking, and Lynda's made a career out of exactly that. Lynda, welcome to Not All Business. Everyone is looking for an advantage in their marketing that they can digest in a clear, fun format. Well, there's one podcast I want to tell you about that's changing the game. It's called Your Audience is Waiting, and it's for business leaders who are done with surface-level marketing advice. Hosted by visibility and content strategist Elisha Everett, this isn't a show about posting more content. It's about aligning your visibility strategy with actual business goals and revenue. Elisha helps CEOs, founders, and ready-to-scale business owners build strategic visibility ecosystems that position you as the authority in your space and convert attention into customers. Real frameworks, real ROI. Clay, that's return on investment. So if you're leading a business and you want to grow, go subscribe to Your Audience is Waiting wherever you listen to podcasts. Back to the show.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. I'm a fan.
We're a fan.
Whoa.
We're like
we're gonna
stalkers.
We are a little bit. It's so fun, though, when you find like-minded people out there trying to get this message out. This is instant connection where I knew we'd be friends. I knew it without even knowing you yet. I'm like, yes, we have this in common, and there's this movement out there, and you're a huge part in it.
You.
And
Thank you.
so, yeah.
What's the movement? I feel like we need to brand this movement. Anyone put some thought? Have you ever thought about that, Lynda?
No, I haven't thought about it, but give me a few minutes and I'm sure I can come up with something. I'm sure I can come up with like something clever, right?
I know. I think if
Yeah.
we're going to call this a movement, we need to brand the movement and like collect all of us.
I think a lot of it's about like learning how to survive, right? Like my husband pesters me every day and he's like, have you written a book yet? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's just the employee's handbook on like surviving corporate life. I don't know. But I do think that it's like
Ooh, I
some
like
kind
that.
of survival skills and learning how to survive in your job.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's two different voices, right? Like what you just said, the employee's handbook, there's that voice of the employee in the survival. And I get that. But then there's like the other side of it is like, hey, how can us all as like leaders show up and be more emotionally intelligent and, be more caring about these teams and people versus all the corporate investor pressure we deal with. It's like employees handbook and employers handbook, but employers, that leaves such a bad taste in your mouth. Like all employers are the big bad, right? So
Well, I think at the end of the day, we're all still trying to survive, whether you're a frontline
Yes,
or
we're all
entry-level
human.
employee, or whether you're a mid-level manager, even if you're in the C-suite, you're still trying to survive. And I don't think anybody has really taught people how to survive in the workplace, right? It's just put your head down, ignore it, or get out. Nobody's really talking to people about like, this is a form of survival, right? Like showing up and working with humans every single day and trying to figure out how to like get through your day is still survival. So I think in general, whether it's the frontline employees or it's the C-suite, like we're all still just trying to survive.
right.
Yeah, and I see it. That's really well said. And I see it too as such an opportunity for humanity as we've hearing all of the messages of it's a collaboration between AI and the human, and we're working together, not apart. And at the same time, laying off in droves thousands and thousands of workers. And so it's like, okay, so it's true that the humanity piece of it has to be valued more. And what does it look like to value the humans on your team? And what does it look like to be valued as a human on a team? And how is that different than just showing up to work as a robot, which for so many years we've just been conditioned to, work harder, put in the time, put in FaceTime, click, 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 and then like the cog in the wheel. Well, now that there's coming AI cogs in the wheel, it's like, okay, so then now how are we really valuing what does it mean to be a human at work? And how are we valuing that?
Could you imagine just being judged by what, ChatGPT just wrote versus like your marketing copy? Like I would never win. Like I can't win over what comes out of a robot. Like I hope they judge me as a human somehow nicely.
Yeah, well, because it's got to come from your soul at
Yeah,
that
yeah.
point. Because the AI, it doesn't have a soul.
Well, and here's the interesting thing I think about AI specifically when we talk about ChatGPT is everything sounds new and original now, but in 2 or 3 years when everybody is relying just on ChatGPT, nothing's going to sound original any longer because ChatGPT doesn't craft it. It's not thinking. It's scouring the internet for answers. And when everybody's answers are ChatGPT's answers, that I think that's where we're going to start to see a serious collapse of AI.
You know who has no creativity and no branding at all is ChatGPT. Like, who named it ChatGPT? Like, first of all, Clay, why aren't you calling us out on that acronym? Who the F knows what GPT means? Anyone?
If only you were not on mute, producer Clay.
It. This is everyone. Please take stock. Anyone who's listening and not watching to know Clay being on mute is like the biggest faux pas we've ever had on this show.
Would you snap him a quick correction?
Okay, so first of all, this has been every single podcast I've ever produced.
Yeah.
Ever. The first time that this happens.
Clay.
What just happened is like basically another level of hell that I've already been through. It's just another level. It's like Groundhog Day. But here's how if I can explain myself in the court of, public opinion.
Go for it.
I went to adjust my microphone. You might notice a few minutes ago, it was at a different level. I wanted to change it. Then I change my mic, then I turn it back up. But I didn't release on my mouse. I didn't release it right. And so it thought I was at 0. At this point, no one cares.
I'm bored.
I was about to say, no one cares.
Okay, so while
you know what I care about?
I was just going to talk about accountability. And like Clay, you just said in the conversation that this happens every time. So in my management voice and in my management tone, I would say, okay, well, let's talk a little bit about accountability. And let's talk about like the lessons that we learn through our mistakes. And it's okay. One thing that I tell people is when you make a mistake, hey, I just made a mistake. We don't need an explanation. We don't need a dissertation. We just need ownership of a mistake.
Yes. That over-explanation was way too much.
And so nicely. But how about Lynda's delivery on the tone? Did you notice? She wasn't coming.
I don't know. And then I layer in my shame approach.
She wasn't coming from top down. She was coming from, let me meet you here and lift you up better for next time. But also at the same time, allowing you the opportunity to say, you're right. I'm going to do better next time.
Less is more, Clay.
So can I try again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clay, you're on mute. Hey, Clay, you're on mute.
You're totally right. I was on mute. That's my mistake. Thank you for pointing that out. I will do better next time to make sure that my voice is clear for our entire meeting. Thank you.
That's still too long.
And not enough of a backbone. I want you to be
I'm
like,
not asking your opinions. I want Lynda's opinion.
Clay, I think it just would have been like, oh, thank you. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. That's wow.
Okay, can I try a second time?
Third?
Go try again.
Clay, you're on mute.
Clay, you're on mute.
You're right. Got it. Thank you so much.
See? That was beautiful.
Okay.
That was very well done.
A little too much pageantry.
A little too much pageantry.
Okay. That was good. Should we go for a fourth time? I think we should move on, but I love it. I love it. Lynda, so you're part of the podcast now. So we record every Tuesday evening.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. That's can't say that.
Yeah, but we don't because this comes out on Thursday. So we have to
she doesn't
delay
know.
it.
You don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so sad when this happens. Mm-hmm. You don't know what See You Next Tuesday stands for, do you?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's all right.
Right.
Does everyone else know?
Yeah. We'll take it offline.
Yeah.
It's an acronym.
Yeah.
What you guys, what are you talking about?
It's a bad word. We're not going to say it. We are not saying that on this podcast.
Oh, I just I just mentally, visually saw what you were saying. Gosh, don't ever say that word. That is the one word I do not
You
like
are the
in
one
my
that said
bubble.
it. You said it, not me.
I did not know the code. You know what? We are beating around the bush when we have like the world's best story sitting right over here.
Yep.
And Lynda, I teased out your rage quit story. I don't know. I was trying to think, have I ever actually met someone who's like truly just said, F you, I am out of the building? And I don't know that I have. I'd have to really think on that. So I'm dying to hear your story.
So it's not quite as Jerry Maguire as it sounds, right? It's
Oh yeah, that's probably the only
Right.
other person I know.
Who's coming with me? Yeah.
So I'll set the stage a little bit. So I had been working for this company, and it was one of these situations where I had never felt so aligned in my career with my job, like my skills. Like I think we always step into positions and we're like, can I do it? And, how is this going to stretch and grow me? And how am I going to do all of the things? And I was in a job that I was finally like, the needs of the business and my skills like perfectly align. And I was so excited to do this role, right? And when I had stepped into this job, I had made a lot of changes and for the better, right? Like I had saved the business like $600,000 within the first 6 months of me working there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
I
did.
had cut their call volume in half. I had taken their attrition to from 10% year over year to under 1% year over year. Like, I know, crazy changes. And I had done all of these things, and yet I felt miserable all of the time. And I felt so not aligned with what I was doing, even though I knew exactly what I was doing. And I had actually been living in another country. So I was living in another country, and I had ended up having a meltdown with my boss because I finally had kind of put my finger on what my problem was. And my problem was that I just didn't feel aligned with my boss. I didn't feel supported. I felt, just that it was a really toxic environment for me. Right. But I'm living in another country. I wasn't even sure where I was when I was coming back into the country and where I was going to live. And I ended up having a meltdown with my boss. She had made like a really flippant comment, and I had just total meltdown on my boss and unhappy. And I feel like maybe I should quit and maybe these things. And I will never forget having this conversation. I'm like completely emotionally breaking down. And instead of saying, okay, this is a lot, like, can we fix anything? Is there anything that we can do to like do this? She's like, what's your exit plan? Yeah. That was the response.
She asked you that?
Yes. Like that was literally the response of like, I'm sobbing for help. Right. And I never cry at work.
Wow.
Sobbing for help. And the exit plan. And so again, I'm living in another country.
Were you living in another country because of work or just like personal working remotely?
No, because I wanted to live in another country.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, but I was the only one working at the time. My husband's work wouldn't allow him to go. So I was the breadwinner in the family. I was doing all of these things. And I'm like, okay, I have to have a job in order to go back into the States to find a place to live. Right. So I claw back and I'm like, okay, this was a cry for help, blah, blah, blah. Right. No support from my manager. And then the conversation really shifts, and it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to allow you to stay, like these are the words that are coming out of this person's mouth. Like I'm the one who's having a mental breakdown. And instead of like saying, okay, how can we support you? What can we do? Are there some ways that we can work on a relationship? It's like, what's your exit plan? And then I'm like, oh shit, I don't have a place to live inside the country. And my job was telling me I had to come back into the country. So I was moving back into the United States because my job told me I had to. And then they're like, well, if we're going to allow you to stay. And I'm just like, this is nuts. Like I felt so crazy. So I literally moved back into the country with my family. We're living in an Airbnb, and I am physically ill every single day. Like I can't keep anything down.
Kids too, right? At this point,
I have 2 teenagers, and again, I'm the only one working. I'm having like this mental breakdown, and
I hear this all the time.
I just was like, "That's it. I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I just, again, I hadn't even signed my lease yet. Like I wasn't in a permanent living space. I had no idea what I was doing. I was right back into the country and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm just done.
Wow.
And I had to walk away.
I have a lot of anxiety right now listening to that.
Because of the no backup plan? Like there was no, like I'm going into something else?
When I said I hear this all the time, the part I hear all the time is I have a lot of women in my circle that are the breadwinner and they have 2 young kids and they're in miserable jobs and there is no backup plan. And, to credit my husband, he always says like, the moment you feel freedom is the moment you can like rage quit a job. And I'm like, oh, financial freedom. Like that makes a lot of sense for me now hearing this because all I can hear and is like my heart rate going up going, well, how did you do that? Like, I hope you had a backup plan.
I didn't. I had no idea what I was going to do. I didn't have anything lined up. My husband was still trying to find something. And it was just like, and I'm so type A. Like, I'm like, I always have a plan. I always know what's going on. And this was just like, absolutely not. And I will tell you, the relief I felt when I hit send on that email was instant. I was no longer physically ill. I was no longer like, I was not losing my hair. I wasn't losing my sleep. I mean, just everything. And I felt so much better. And then it was, okay, great. What do I do now? Like, what do I do now? And that's kind of how I started. I started my own business. I was like, managers need to be trained because this is the experience that I had. This manager that I had that attributed to like this demise of my well-being. She was like 7-8 years older than me, right? Had been managing forever, had excellent pedigree when it came to like experience and whatnot. And as I was reflecting back on it, the things that the guidance that she would give was so astounding to me. I mean, we got employee surveys back and I had one person who was really unhappy and she's like, I'll just figure out who it is and fire them. Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is the guidance I'm being given. I always advise all of my clients to make your calendars private. I don't think it's anybody's business what you have on your calendar because your work should show what you're doing. If you're not working, then that's the conversation. It's not about your calendar. And like in meetings, oh, Lynda's top secret calendar. Oh, she's super spy calendar, right? Like in meetings in front of my peers. And then I had my peers who were coming to me saying, well, you're top secret. Like these are things that are clearly being repeated when I'm not in the room. And watching the guidance, right? When I had my meltdown and then she's like, well, if I'm going to allow you to stay, you need to change your team meetings from 1 hour a week to 2 30-minute because that's what I like. I'm just like, this is nuts. This is nuts. And
but also back up to the fact of what you had accomplished there. Like that's what's boggling my mind. I mean, you had proven yourself. You saved on the bottom line. You saved on attrition. You brought in this money. What was the role even? What did you already say that and I missed it?
I was the head of customer support.
Oh my God. That's like one of the hardest jobs ever. Tracking like NRR and retention of clients and then also staff turnover and making sure that that is a very tough job.
What does NRR mean?
Net revenue retention.
Net recurring and maybe revenue retention. How many R's can I throw out?
Revenue retention.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's basically once you sell something, keeping the client instead of having to go get a new client. And then if you lose it or they downsize, then it's like your NRR number goes down.
Which is actually oftentimes a way more valuable number than your top line, right? Because it's easier to keep customers than it is to lose customers and you get more business. So it's funny because Heather's right. It's one of the hardest jobs and we always think about sales, and we put all this money into sales and we sometimes forget about support, and support in my company was the biggest, ultimately overtook like sales. It's the biggest revenue generation is like nurturing your base. So it is a critical function of the company.
Yeah. And it's what investors look for and, purchasers when they're coming at. It's like, what are you keeping clients? Yes, you can get them, but are you keeping them? Because that shows that the product can be sticky. Anyway, that's all to the point to say, I don't feel like it's wild to me that you get to this point and the first thing she's like, all right, well, it's your exit plan, or just do it differently my way, because it's kind of saying we're not even appreciating who you are and what you've done thus far.
And it was just this telltale sign of
Crazy.
like, the moment that I had was like, you have no idea what you're doing. And that was the moment where I'm like, okay, how can we have people in these positions of power that really don't know what they're doing, right? They don't know how to manage like a top performer or an independent, like somebody who's an independent thinker. And again, like this wasn't my first rodeo. I had been head of customer support in several companies. And it was just like, well, but you have to run it this way. And it's like, but why does that matter, right? And the thing that I really have noticed with so many managers is they just feel like you have to do it their way because they've been successful, right? And that was the overarching message from this scenario was, well, because you're not doing it my way, how could you possibly be successful? And that's when I was like, okay, people need my help. People need help to learn how to manage people. They need to learn, because 85% of managers who are promoted, so they are promoted from IC, individual contributor, to a manager. And when they go into that role, 85% of them never receive training.
Yes.
And to me, that's almost like, I liken this a lot. A new manager is kind of like being a new parent, right? But you have a lot less support. When you're a new parent, you can be like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And people will tell you. But when you're at work, you can't tell anybody you don't know what you're doing, because then your team doesn't trust you, or you're afraid you're going to get in trouble, or that performance review, you're going to get a 2 instead of a 3. And you're just going to be, you just can't tell anybody. And then, so what you do is you step into these roles, and I watched it on the team, the team with this person, all of the people that reported to this person, aside from my functions, had all been people who had started out as frontline employees and had grown and were doing it exactly the way that they wanted it done, versus being kind of independent thinkers or like trying new things and stepping outside of the box, right? And that's because they just mimic what they see.
Yeah, that's that ceiling that they hit, where it's like, okay, well, I wasn't trained on this, and just because you're good at doing something doesn't mean that you're good at managing people.
Exactly.
So back to that moment where she said, what's your exit strategy? If you could do it all over again and give advice to that manager or anyone else in her position, what kind of response could she have given you that would have given you a chance to stay and work it out? Like, what should she have done?
I really think the appropriate response would have been like, thank you for sharing the feedback. And then stop. And that's where so many people in leadership and management get things wrong. They want to react. They want to get their say in. They want to make sure that whatever their narrative is heard, instead of just going, wow, that was tough to share. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to take some time and think about this.
Yeah. Yeah. She wanted to get her side in. She got defensive because she's confronted with your take on it. She gets defensive, starts defending, then throws it back on you. Right. She can't handle it.
Right.
Horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I love about how you've taken this and turned it into a career is, while employee training or manager training or any training is awesome, like it's great when employers recognize that if you're going from an individual contributor to a manager, you require training. But I think it's tough when you get a one and done training. You either need some type of mentorship, right? But what you really need is a practice. And so what I love about what you've done is you've turned it to me into a practice. You're giving advice in sound bites. I mean, because you're a social media star, right? Like you have a cult following. I don't know, millions of, I don't know how many followers you have, but it's a lot, Lynda. It's a lot. But every little nugget, I feel like I get more in that than I do from a 6-hour training. And I think it's because it's actionable, and it's in my environment, like where I am, like I'm in Instagram, I can see it, and it's repetitive. So it's like, it's practice. And I would say one of the things we're missing is the integration of what it looks like to be a good manager and the practice of it. Daily practice is so hard. And so I just appreciate that you've turned this not into just training, one and done. You've turned it into like a practice where people are coming back and like, okay, what can I learn today? What can I try out tomorrow?
Thank you.
And it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I really appreciate you.
Yeah. And in practical advice too, like I think managers like have your open door policy. Have okay, if you guys want to set meetings, I have every day from 10 to 11 on my calendar for things as they come up to allow for that versus being a manager that people are afraid of or I'm afraid to share, because then you won't get your reps. And it's going to be worse and then you definitely don't want to do it once a year per Blakely Graham on an annual performance review.
Hate those.
Well, and I think the other thing is with so many managers, one of the reasons they get so disconnected is it's the excuse of like, well, I'm so busy. I'm just too busy, right?
Yes.
And I love it. I used to have employees who would come to me and be like, Lynda, I know you're busy. I'm like, you're busy too. We are all busy. So let's take this idea that anyone's time is more important than anybody else's time.
Yeah.
We are all busy. We all have a million things going on, but we can all take a moment to recognize one another or to be involved or to learn something or to take like an action. So let's stop using that as our excuse.
Absolutely. I love how you listened to your body and just said, you know what? I mean, yes, you didn't have a plan, but your plan was to protect your health and your wellness. And you just said that enough is enough and trusted that you would figure it out.
Oh, Heather, I was thinking the exact same thing as like, my husband's like freedom, like financial freedom is when you can quit your job. I heard the same thing. It's that you somehow intuitively had a backup plan and the backup plan was you. And if we can get out of our like broken down, like we're just so fatigued and sick and like get out of that mode, like we are our best asset. We can figure, we got to make sure we put food on our table, but we're smart women. We can figure our way out of these things when we're healthy and when we're in a good place to do it. So I appreciate that was your true backup plan.
Yeah. I'm sorry it's not more of a Jerry Maguire situation, but it was definitely.
It is. Well, it's the equivalent.
We can embellish it.
There's not a lot of people or goldfish in the office anymore these days anyway. So I think hitting that send, I could imagine that hitting that took a lot of courage to send that out. And then what was the response? And how long did that?
It was like, okay, fine. Right. And I was like, okay, good. We are all together and we are all on the same page and good.
Yeah. Good. Good for you. That is such a great role model. And you're helping people out in a whole new way, which I kind of hope that she sees your success now. I bet she probably does.
Oh, she does.
Right? That's badass right there.
But you know what? Maybe she's listening. Let's give her the benefit of doubt. Maybe she's getting the advice, maybe she's like, oh yeah. That's
in the grand scheme of things, like I'm grateful it happened. I'm grateful that I had the experience and we're just moving on.
One of the feedbacks that I've been getting is that I ask so many questions and don't get the full story out. And I think I did it again this week, but I'm not apologizing because I do think these are important things to suss out. And frankly, Lynda, we have talked with you a lot. This is the beginning of a collaboration. We are like-minded with all of the same intention to help elevate these very important issues to people struggling at work. So, listeners, you'll be excited to know that we have planned a second episode, and Lynda has graciously agreed to do that, which we'll be hitting in the next several weeks, where we're going to bring her on as a co-host, and she's going to attack these bad boss sticky situations. So we've got like 10-ish of them so far, so please continue to submit them.
More.
And more than 10? Okay, so continue to submit them.
Voicemail. I want some voice memo ones that we can put on the air.
We need to hear the
Yes. So
the
not
drama.
all.biz. Like send us a voicemail on there.
Yes.
It'd be so fun. You'll be on air anonymously.
Trixie, you know who you are. Call us. We'll give you some tips for next time.
Naked boobs, Trixie.
Naked boobs. Yeah, we've got advice for you. Lynda wasn't able to speak to that point at that time, but call back. She'll be here.
I have thoughts on Trixie.
Oh, you do?
Oh, what?
Oh, I have thoughts.
Closing thoughts on Trixie.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It was an all hands meeting. Like if it was an all hands meeting and you show up topless, like, okay, like that to me is again where you're like, whoops, like you own that mistake. Similar to Clay's mute situation.
Right.
I think like it's like, oh,
Very
whoops.
similar.
Because
Very similar.
if you're in a group setting, like it's a all hands meeting, who cares if you're in the tub? It's just don't show your boobs.
Yeah. This is very
Whoa.
good advice.
I like that.
Yeah. I think it's very good.
Yeah. Okay. I'll still worry about your safety. So make sure you're not plugged in.
Right.
I don't want them
Don't get
electrocuted.
electrocuted.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole workers' comp debacle
Yeah.
right there. Okay, we're going to have you back, Lynda. Thank you so much for being here today. We do ask a question of all of our guests, and we answered ourselves too. What brought a smile to your face this week? Blakely, Clay, if Lynda wants to think about it, you guys have anything?
I'll go.
Okay.
Usually my smile of the week have to do with like my kids or my husband. But this time it's going to be about work, this podcast. And I haven't even told this to Clay and Heather yet. But yesterday we got our first video submission for a sticky situation. I was like,
Awesome.
What? That's amazing.
I know. I don't know if we're going to be able to play it on air or not. I need to talk to him still, but it's a really good one. It's about bullying.
Cool.
I almost think when Lynda comes back, we might even just have her address this like head on.
Yeah.
A little tease, but that, I don't know. It just was like, we did it. We did it. We have a video submission of a sticky situation.
I love that.
And they were clothed.
Oh.
Linda's disappointed. Oh, too bad. Missed opportunity.
I'll tell you what. What should we offer someone who sends us the first video submission from the tub? What do they get?
Oh, they can get on our Christmas list this year.
Okay, because we don't have any merch.
We've got some fun things.
Yeah, but we're going to send out a little Christmas package to
Christmas
some
packages.
folks. Holiday
Yes.
package. What? Like,
Okay.
yes, bring it.
Bring it. Tales from the tub.
I love that. I was going to try and figure out how to bring in the dick with legs again, but there's that.
I don't think our audience knows about Dick with Legs. No,
Well,
that was pre-roll.
They need to.
It's a shame.
Where did it come? What?
Can someone please explain?
Well,
everyone
yes.
is dying to know.
Yes.
I
Okay.
think
So
it's because
last week, Blakely
Lynda
said,
asked. Let's say
whiny
before
ass.
before we got on air, Lynda specifically said, "Is it okay if I swear on your show?" And Heather goes, "Fuck yeah!"
I did
And then
not.
I said, "I don't swear often, but I did last week." I said, "Whiny ass dick," and we got the most comments on that.
And then I said, does that? I said, so that has legs. I said, I think that has legs, the whiny
Yeah.
ass dick. And then Lynda said,
And I said, well, it's a dick with legs. I mean, I just like the visual. Dick with legs.
That none of us needed.
no,
None
it's
of us
true. And somebody's going to make a bumper sticker
There's
out of
my
it.
smile for the week. I'm sorry, but every time I think about a dick with legs, I'm just going to giggle.
Whiny ass dick with legs.
So can we swear on the show?
Fuck yeah.
Yes, we can. Oh, Clay, did you think of one?
I thought of one.
Mm-hmm.
My son's school invited all the parents from the kindergartners, all the parents of kindergartners to the school for a concert. And it was just amazing to see a class of kindergartners sing a song. I don't know. This is my first experience being a parent and going to a school concert. And I was like, this is unreal. Everyone should be here right now. I just had such like a glowing feeling. It was like, this is awesome. Where is everybody?
Oh my gosh. You just brought back a trauma for me. And I'm really glad it was a smile for you. I just have to tell you, because like I'm so proud of Emrys right now and his kindergarten class, and I think it's wonderful. But I just remember the first time my dad came to my choir concert.
What happened?
And there were 8 solos, and solo 1 and 4 were the same, 2 and 5 were the same. Like you get the anyway. I was solo number 4, and my dad came up and he's like, "Good job, honey." He was like, "You were a little stronger the first time," and I'm like, "That was
Oh my
Jenny
gosh.
McCormick sang that one." bad. My poor dad, may he rest in peace. He never got over that.
He did. He thought you sang it twice, but you were better the first time.
I think like Blakely, like you weren't looking for notes.
So bad. All right. Anyway,
That's okay. This is
I love you, Dad.
This is my smile. Can I count right now?
Okay.
So sad and explains so much.
Yes. My need for validation all the time.
Yeah. Okay, we're wrapping it up. That was mine for
Okay.
the week. That trumped it. Okay. All right. Thank you
thank
so
you,
much,
Lynda.
Lynda.
Thank you.
We are going to
All
see
right.
you
Yes.
soon.
Yeah,
Real
see you in a
quick.
few weeks. Yeah.
Where can people go
Yes.
follow Lynda?
Oh, yeah.
Check out what Lynda is up to. Learn from Lynda. Get plugged in.
Come find me on TikTok. It's Lynda Leads or Lynda the Manager Guru. I'm also on Instagram as Lynda Leads. So, and that's Lynda with a Y. So come find me. Come join my content. I can't wait to meet you.
It's so fun. Go to one of the lives. I went to one of those. It's very fun.
You to one of my
did?
lives?
Yeah.
I'm
did, yeah.
went to
I'm
a
so glad I
live?
didn't know you were there. I would have had performance anxiety. That's not true. I wouldn't have, but I would have said hi.
Oh.
I would have said hi.
It was so
Aw.
fun. And if you go to the comment section of any of Lynda's videos, it's people who are very
Oh,
supportive.
those are good.
It's really good. People are sharing personal stories. It's a
Yeah.
community. It's very
Yeah.
it's
Beautiful.
very, very cool. And it's rare. It's hard to
Yeah.
find that. And you've done a great job
Yeah.
building that.
I'm in awe.
I don't get a lot of trolls. I'm so grateful. So thanks for coming to my live and supporting. I appreciate it.
All right. Let's call it. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Thanks,
Thank
Lynda.
you.